Hi everybody, welcome to Jin's Wall Street News. According to the US Department of Labor, the number of Americans claiming unemployment benefits fell from 242,000 to 221,000 in the week ending March 1st. The US Census Bureau and the US Bureau of Economic Analysis reported Thursday that the US trade deficit in goods and services jumped 34% in January from a month ago. Atlanta Fed's GDPNow estimates the US real GDP grew at minus 2.4% for the first quarter. For the US stocks, S&P 500 fell 1.78% and the Nasdaq Composite tumbled 2.61% Thursday. Broadcom reported its financial results for its fiscal Q1 2025 on Thursday, and it expects current quarter's revenue to be flat from the previous quarter. Broadcom's president and CEO Hock Tan said during the conference call, quote, "For Q2, we expect total semiconductor revenue to grow 2% sequentially and up 17% year-on-year to $8.4 billion. According to the US Department of Labor, the number of Americans claiming unemployment benefits fell from 242,000 to 221,000 in the week ending March 1st. However, the number of Americans receiving benefits after an initial week of aid increased from 1,855,000 to 1,897,000 in the week ending February 22nd. The US Census Bureau and the US Bureau of Economic Analysis reported Thursday that the trade deficit in goods and services jumped 34% from $98.1 billion in December to $131.4 billion in January. Exports increased 1.2% from $266.5 billion in December to $269.8 billion in January, and imports rose 10% from $364.6 billion in December to $401.2 billion in January. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, GDPNow estimates the US real GDP grew at minus 2.4% for the first quarter, up from minus 2.8% on March 6th, updated based on the US services PMIs, factory orders, and the US trade deficit in goods and services. For the US stocks, S&P 500 fell 1.78% and the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 0.99%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq tumbled 2.61% Thursday. Big tech stocks fell on Thursday. Shares of Nvidia tumbled 5.74%. Most of the US chip stocks also dropped, but I'm optimistic about the US chip stocks in the near term because they are in an oversold condition and the US stock market is at the extreme fear level. Broadcom announced its financial results for its fiscal Q1 2025 on Thursday. The company reported $14.9 billion of revenue for the previous quarter, up 25% from a year ago, above expectations. Adjusted EPS was $1.60, up 45% year-over-year, higher than expectations. When it comes to the guidance, the company expects current quarter's revenue to be $14.9 billion, up 19% on a yearly basis, above expectations. Broadcom President and CEO Hock Tan said during the conference call, quote, Q1 semiconductor revenue was $8.2 billion, up 11% year-on-year. Growth was driven by AI, and AI revenue of $4.1 billion was up 77% year-on-year. Our hyperscalers partners continue to invest aggressively in their next-generation frontier models. Accordingly, we do reaffirm what we said last quarter, that we expect these three hyperscale customers will generate a serviceable addressable market in the range of $60 billion to $90 billion in fiscal 2027. Even as we have three hyperscale customers we are shipping XPUs in volume today, there are now four more who are deeply engaged with us to create their own accelerators. To be clear, these four are not included in our estimated SAM of $60 billion to $90 billion in 2027. Coming back to 2025, in Q1, AI revenue was $4.1 billion, and we expect Q2 AI revenue to grow to $4.4 billion, which is up 44% year-on-year. Turning to non-AI semiconductors, revenue of $4.1 billion was down 9% sequentially on a seasonal decline in wireless. In aggregate, during Q1, the recovery in non-AI semiconductors continued to be slow. Broadband, which bottomed in Q4 2024, showed a double-digit sequential recovery in Q1 and is expected to be up similarly in Q2 as service providers and telcos step up spending. Meanwhile, enterprise networking continues to remain flat in the first half of fiscal 25 as customers continue to work through channel inventory. While wireless was down sequentially due to a seasonal decline, it remained flat year-on-year. In Q2, wireless is expected to be the same, flat again year-on-year. Resales in industrial were down double-digit in Q1 and are expected to be down in Q2. So reflecting the foregoing puts and takes, we expect non-AI semiconductor revenue in Q2 to be flat sequentially, even though we are seeing bookings continue to grow year-on-year. In summary, for Q2, we expect total semiconductor revenue to grow 2% sequentially and up 17% year-on-year to $8.4 billion, unquote. Okay, this is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.